What's up? Welcome back to Rabbit Hole, and welcome to Ryan Squared. This is a special episode we have for you. We have Zack back. Here he is. And we wanted to do a part 2 of our Todd Rundgren episode, only because not only does Todd Rundgren mean a lot to Ryan, it was a big part of me growing up, it is also a big part of Zack's life too. So, where do you guys want to go off from here? Take it away. Silence.
It's the Todd Talk.
Todd Talk. Yeah, there you go.
Talk. I could do this all day. There's so many things to talk about.
So let's start with this. So, when were you first introduced to Todd? When did it start becoming a big part of your life, I guess?
When I was very young, my mom liked Todd Rundgren.
So you grew up with it?
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, she had like cassette tapes and stuff, and like mainly like she really liked like Second Wind and like Nearly Human and like the later stuff.
I've been listening to Nearly Human so much lately. I don't know why, but I love that album.
And then Something Anything, of course. And I was introduced to that as a very young age. And I wasn't really a huge music person as a kid. If you watch one of her other videos, I talk about like what made me got into music in a nutshell. But when you're a kid, you know what the only thing you have to influence is your parents, really.
Yeah.
And
well, you don't have the money to buy this stuff either, so it's just like whatever they're listening to by default.
Yeah.
You listen to.
So I knew him by that, and then probably I just knew a very little bit about him. His hits, "Hello's Me," "Saw the Light," and
Bang on the Drum.
Yeah, "Bang on the Drum," and all the stuff that most the average folk know. Then from you and your brother and your dad, when I got introduced to more of we liked Todd because our parents were friends when they were our age. So that's what they did. Like Todd Rundgren was big. They'd go see Todd in concert.
Yeah.
And they'd listen to Todd when they'd hang out and all that. And then it kind of that's how you probably learned about him.
Yeah.
But your dad was a lot more into Todd than my mom was. Yeah. So I would learn about Wizard and Todd and Utopia and all the more stuff that most people that don't know about Todd that know about Todd. Just the average day, the person that likes the hits. Then I dug even deeper, and then you go Nas, and there's everything. There's so many things to know about this guy, and all the producing he's done, and all of the things, movies, and it's just, there's so many things about him that he's just very interesting.
Yeah.
I found a Nas vinyl the other day, and I was so excited. It was the Nas. It was a compilation of some of their greatest hits, which is crazy.
Which one was it?
The Nas, and then Nas, and then the Nas is what they called it in their little breakdown of when they were coming out with the songs and the era. But it was really cool because it was such a cheap record. But when I bought it, I told the guy how excited I was because he's like, "Oh, you know who the Nas is?" I was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's
who doesn't?"
Yeah, I didn't mean to sound like that, but it was just this is where it all started. This is so cool that you have this, that I can own this, and I listen to it, and it's great. It's just amazing to see the start of someone. I think if you're really interested in an artist, it is fun, at least entertaining, and looking back at where they started. Mm-hmm. Whether you're crazy about it or not, doesn't matter. It's all about knowing where they started.
Yeah. Yeah, so listen to the Yardbirds, and then listening to
Woody's Truck Stop.
Yeah, listening to the Yardbirds and Jimmy Page and Eric Clapton and all that stuff, their roots. Woody's Truck Stop, though. I'm trying to find some physical copy of that, but I don't think that exists.
Maybe somebody out there can help you.
Yeah, if somebody's got a Woody's Truck Stop record or 45 or 78 or a set or whatever they got out there, I'll take it. Actually, speaking of Nas, earlier this week, I heard the song on the radio is 98.5, which is a classic rock channel if you're watching from out of state. We're from Ohio, so that's a staple Cleveland classic rock
station.
Yeah.
And this song was on, and I was like, "This is Nas," and I was like, "Bullshit, this can't be Nas," because it wasn't a well-known song by them. And you just know because Todd wrote all the music, but then Stooky's you can't sing it and you can't take credit for it. I mean, he took, he's just you stay in the back and buzz off. And I Shazammed it, and it was Nas, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I never expected that to be played on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
It was really cool. It blew my mind. I actually met Todd Rundgren.
No, you got a good picture.
Yeah, I don't know where it is though. It was very brief, but it was very nice to meet him.
I wanted to wait to meet him after one of the shows, especially at the small show I went to. But there were so many people there that wanted to meet him. So many. And I could tell he just wanted to get out of there. Because he didn't even really, I don't even think he enjoyed the show. I think he's like, I'm literally giving the people what they want.
Yeah.
They give the people what they want tour, which I would assume as a musical artist would be awful. Like, you're just like, I just want to play what I want to play, not with these. You know?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like,
but I mean, you wrote it, so it is like kind of.
Yeah.
It came from you, so it is like...
me being in a band for like a little bit of time, like you play shows and people would like to hear you play certain songs, and I was like, I don't want to play that song.
Really?
I hate my music.
No, I know you are kind of like that. I wonder if that's the majority of artists, which it kind of could be.
The musician's the biggest critique. They hate
true.
They hate their own. Like, it's like example to an average person. If you listen to your voice recorded, it's like you're like, oh god, it sounds so weird.
Yeah.
Like, no, if we watch this, what we're watching now, or listen to it, and then you'd be like, oh my god, it sounds so weird.
Yeah.
But
no, we'll go back to Todd. Like, what is your favorite era, album, that kind of stuff? Songs that you really like?
I'm curious what your answer is going to be.
Yeah.
Oh, Wizard of True Star, Todd, Something Anything, the first, like, couple. And the very first Utopia album is one of my favorites. But I like all of them for, like, different reasons. Like, I like the 90s stuff. Like, I like listen to Arena. Like, just, like, all the really weird stuff. Or the only stuff that I will avoid is State and Global. I just can't.
Yeah, that's where it gets bad. But Liars was good. Like, I was telling him I really like Liars. Because to me that was like, Todd does R&B, which is weird, but Todd did it really well, you know, and it was interesting. But then I got weird after that. Like, after that album is where I was like...
Did you both like Liars, though, when you first heard it?
No, I hated Liars the first time I heard it. I was like, this is crap.
What about you?
I had only heard a couple songs and I wrote it off immediately. I was like, screw this album. And then I went back and revisited it.
I know, and it's like, it's great.
Because on YouTube it just popped up one of the songs from the album.
Mm-hmm.
And then that sparked me going back into looking into it again.
Yeah.
Took me a couple times.
The reason I asked that is, what if now in a few years it's like, okay, State isn't as bad as we thought it was. Global, that'll never happen.
No.
There's no musical quality to it.
It's garbage.
There's no
I'm sorry,
substance.
Todd. It's straight ass.
Musical?
I don't know. I mean, I love the guy, but I just don't get. It's so bad.
Maybe he's just running out of ideas. And that's what he does now.
Only been writing music since he was like 17 or younger.
Like, I don't understand. Like, he's been like such a weird, like, crazy, experienced music career, and he sits down and makes an album, and he's like, "Yeah, this is cool. Let's put this out, and people buy this." Like, who? What the hell? That's like.
I want to end it with this, which also I want to do as a future topic when we're all together talking about something too. Is let's say Todd stopped, like somewhere halfway, something happened to him, he wasn't able to make music anymore. Because you got to think of like Nirvana, Joy Division, all that stuff, where there was only this finite amount of time that they were making music, and then they're like, "Wow, these are gods," you know?
Yeah.
What if Todd was cut off before, you know, all that kind of Global, State and whatever else you kind of started to dislike happened? Would he now be in this high regard as like everything he did was great, everything he touched was awesome, and he's kind of now in that group of, like I said, Nirvana, Joy Division, where people are like amazing?
So you're saying that like, if
he wasn't long enough to kind of make this music that you now kind of think is no longer that great.
If he only made those first few, let's say 5 records, and they were all like really good, and then he stopped, and then he would be remembered the same because nobody even listened to the rest of the stuff anyways.
You think?
I think so.
What about Joy Division?
Like, as far as I'm concerned, like, people don't know. Like, they thought like, oh, Todd Rundgren, Something Anything, he's from the '70s. He goes, yeah, he just made a new album. They'd be like, really?
Yeah, most of the people I sat next to were like, I haven't even listened to any of his new stuff since blah blah blah.
Yeah, since like
1982.
Okay.
They're just ignoring
They
it.
just have stopped.
What was his last great album?
I don't even have an answer to that question. I don't know.
I think his music is so subjective after a certain point in time that it's really hard to tell. Like, even into the 90s.
What would you say?
Like, truly great album? Maybe Hermit?
Oh my gosh, I knew you were going to say that.
I mean, the other stuff's fine. I just like think like that's the last time that was like the shit.
Yeah. So you don't think, though, if he would have stopped somewhere earlier, that it's like, okay, now everything he did was great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing he really could have done.
Let's do some reference here.
Yeah? Go through the entire discography?
Oh man, it's like when I'm driving and I have Spotify on and I need to find one Todd Rundgren album.
Yeah.
It is so bad. You're like scrolling.
Oh, I know. Scrolling, there's so much.
And then you're just like, there's like 20 different live albums. Like, oh, you want to hear Love Science by Todd? Sorry, that was only a live song that he did.
That's
So
funny.
what live album are you gonna search for to find Love Science on?
You think that's bad though? I just want to throw out there, Fish is 100 times worse because everything is live studio. Whew, hundreds of things. It's unbelievable. But yeah, what'd you find?
Run's amazing. Ballad is amazing. Something Anything's amazing. Whisper Two Stars amazing. Todd's amazing. Initiation's amazing. Faithful is really good. It's got the covers on it. You know, like the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix and stuff.
I'm not too familiar with that one.
Ever Popular, Tortured.
I just got that one on record. That and Initiation were I got at the same time.
Wait, what about The Face of Music?
No, Healing is after Hermit, so that's a good one. Never Popular, Tortured Artist Effect is good. Then you go Acapella,
Is that
Nearly
with Hoja?
Human, Second Wind, No World Order, Individualist, Up Against It, With a Twist, All Long Year, Liars,
But was it better than those?
the thing is, I used to hate Liars, and now I like it.
Yeah.
It's so different. I mean, I just like listening to it because it's fun. You know, I think like I don't know, it's just entertaining for that aspect.
I think like with the Second Wind and Nearly Human, a lot of artists kind of had that sound.
They did. I like it.
David Bowie has records that kind of sound like I was listening to like then like it was on a play like my shuffle on my phone, and like one of those songs from the era played from each of those artists, and I was like, wow, it's like the same like bass line, same like keyboard like.
Yeah, it's like if you were to take David Bowie's Just Dance album. I like it. A lot of people hate me for saying that, but I love it, and it's fun. And Nearly Human is kind of like that. You have the backup singers. It's fun. There's the synthesizers. It's kind of like their dance. You know, I don't know,
groovy.
Screwing around with different stuff, but that was very much the sound of the time. Mm-hmm. And then they went back to doing their own weird stuff again, which is cool. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. No, that was episode 2 of our little conversation about Todd. Todd Talks.
Yeah, it's going to be a series now.
Maybe we'll get there one day. But no, we just wanted to see what Zach has to say because he's very knowledgeable on it as well and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you like what you saw, we got a lot more like this on the page, so check it out. But yeah, thanks for watching.
Todd is God.
There you go. You heard it here.
God said, Todd said.